What is ADA's next big rally going to be? When is it going to happen? How quick is it going to be? How high will it go? There is actually a fractal suggesting that we are on the verge of a 250% surge in price to the upside. This has flashed multiple times throughout this market cycle, which we're going to talk about in this video. And we've been kind of waiting for this Ethereum chart to come home. Is this going to actually trigger this next big move across the crypto market? We're going to talk about all that and more in this video. So if you guys are new or haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Hit that bell. It's free to do. It'll keep you updated anytime there's new content live here on the channel. So right now it's about 6:25 a.m. Central Standard Time, still way before US money wakes up. Hopefully we can continue to get some of these positive movements as the day goes on, but we're still seeing green. ADA's still broken out, yada, yada. We're not going to get too much into that. But what I do want to talk about is actually this fractal that has played out multiple times here throughout this market cycle that has led ADA on 250% rallies to the upside. What this is actually referencing is this ascending channel that ADA has fallen into during this market cycle. And there have been multiple instances where ADA actually rallied 250%. Once out of August of 2023, where it ran 250% to 82 cents. The next time where ADA actually rallied all the way up to about $1.32. This is over 265% rally, and this took place in the latter part of last year. And guys, this is this big ascending channel that ADA is playing into currently. Are we on the verge of a 250% move to take place again, which actually would run us all the way up to about $2.25 or so? That is 100% possible. All right. Understand that on a fundamental level, everything has been getting very, very good for ADA. It's been good for a while. It continues to get better. The long-term mindset, the long-term holder conviction, this is all stuff that is continuing to improve. And that's exactly what you want to see at this time. And now BTC is kind of working, in our favor. It's helping us carry these charts higher. We're on the verge of this big total market cap blowout. So all this stuff that we've talked about time and time again is finally starting to come together. But are we waiting for one last thing? Is there one last drop that needs to take place in another chart to kind of facilitate these major moves to the upside? So what I'm actually referencing is ETH BTC. Now, I've talked about this here and there. We know that Ethereum has been just frankly crap for most of this market cycle. And it has been such crap that it has gotten down to some lows that we have not seen since all the way back in 2019. Now, there have been some discussions out there that it does in fact need to round trip all the way to these lows that were last experienced in September of 2019. So this would actually be a drop of about another 11% or so, 12% in terms of the ETH BTC chart, meaning that, BTC moves 6% this way, ETH moves 6% this way. There you go. You hit your 12%, right? Now, this did in fact take another leg down yesterday. And the reason why is because we saw BTC make up some ground. We saw alts drop, Ethereum dropped. So we may be on the verge of this actual touch. And the question is, are we going to get down to this point where we just see that major slingshot back to the upside like we did, from 2019 all the way up through 2021? I don't know the answer, right? That nothing has to play out perfectly that way, but definitely something to monitor nonetheless. Now, there are, in fact, those who are still betting against Ethereum. And this is kind of a really strange trend that we have seen in this market cycle. So there was actually a whale that actually opened up a 10x short on Ethereum, and they're trying to push prices down. But yet on the other side, you have these massive whales that are just accumulating, basically picking up all the supply in these cheap discounted levels. And so the question is who's going to win? Are we going to get this major pivot here, right? Now, what I will say is that ETH has been setting actually a pretty strong floor right around these current price levels. It's not really deviating too much from these ranges. So frankly, we may be on the verge of a major altcoin pivot. All right. Now, why I'm referencing this in terms of ADA, first of all, people need to know that ADA and ETH, not a very strong correlation. There's not really these LPs that are present between these, but ADA tends to perform its best when other assets throughout the space are doing well. And there is a huge prevalence of ERC20s. Some of the other ones I talk about here on the channel are in fact ERC20s. And when ERC20s get lively and start moving, you tend to have a lot of these bigger altcoins go on the move as well. We're talking about ADA, talking about XRP, HBAR, amongst many others. And I'm sure there are plenty that I'm missing, but that can create a lot of excitement that tends to move the charts. Okay. this may be where we continue to see this big blowout across crypto space, these runs to new highs. That's the big thing. Will this trigger the next major move? Now, something I did want to touch on as well is we're seeing some very great signs from within the Cardano ecosystem. I know we've talked so much about price here lately, but something I do want to reference here is a very consistent trend of up and to the right in terms of Cardano TVL. Actually, since the early part of March, this has been slowly and surely and steadily working its way up and to the right. Daily active addresses have been starting to increase again. Still extremely low, and that's fine, right? I've talked about even since the bear market cycle that we wouldn't until the latter part of this year see those major surges in terms of on-chain usage of Cardano. That won't be surprising because more DeFi adoption takes place later in cycles than it does early in cycles. So what this is all showing is that 1, Cardano's in a very good spot. 2, it's on the verge of some major ecosystem boom. We'll see if that obviously does take place. But 3, we know that Cardano has done a very good job, or ADA has done a very good job of increasing its dominance in the crypto space. It's taking these steps forward. It's holding stability versus BTC, which you can't say for a lot of other assets in the space. So this is exactly what we want to see right now. And in fact, we continue to see ADA holding right around that, 0.8 to 0.85% dominance in the crypto market. That is a great floor for this next leg up for ADA. It's a question of how high does it run? How quickly does it take place? A lot of people are under this impression that this summer is going to be bad. I think the opposite. I think this is going to be a very exciting and explosive summer. We have to remember there's all these things that have not even impacted the crypto market yet, right? Embrace of US-based crypto, stablecoin legislation. We're talking about strategic crypto reserves, which again, there hasn't really been a yay or nay that ADA is going to be in this. Obviously, we know of the initial mention, but this crypto landscape as we know it here in the US is going to drastically shift. And we're talking about over the course of just the next few months. What we want to see is obviously just no major economic concerns. We don't want black swan events. And this will allow us to slowly but surely increase that confidence like we've talked about many times before. And that is when we can start to see more adoption hitting the crypto space. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. I appreciate you as always. I think that we have a great opportunity to boom this summer. I still think we're again going to finish on a green note in April. It's kind of starting to look that way now. I've said that May is probably going to be a big month, but we'll see what happens. So I appreciate you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts below, but have a great day. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.